Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style, coming to answer your colour and style questions. My query is about clothing for the 70 plus age group. I have thought for several years that we are the most neglected demographic, even though we perhaps have the money with our children off our hands. I live in Canberra, where the shopping is even more limited. I'm tall and size 14 to 16. Not busty enough for some of the plus size clothing, and I don't know why clothing for bigger sizes tend to come in horrible prints and fabrics. I find online shopping for clothing difficult. I'm the only older female who can't seem to find anything much for the casual retired lifestyle. Do you hear this often, or is it just me? I can tell you, I bet you there is a bunch of other people going, yeah, that is me too. It is difficult when you live somewhere where there is a bit more limited clothing. It is more difficult, and this is where the online space can be really useful as well. That I know it can be hard. You have to shop online when you have an expectation that everything's going to work. The whole thing with shopping online is you have to treat the clothes that come home to you as if you were just trying them on in a store, and that you are going to send the majority of them back. And I know it's a bit of a pain and all that sort of stuff, but this is why it's worthwhile looking at return policies and shipping and all that sort of stuff. But getting to know which stores and like what kind of fabrics they use and that sort of stuff can be really useful as well. Not everything online is terrible, not everything online is great, but it certainly does give you a wider selection than you just get in your area. And a size 14 to 16, I actually think is often the hardest size because it's at the top end of the regular stores, the bottom end of the plus size, and often things like trying to get things, you just get less variety and it's harder to find things that fit. So it is one of those sizes I know can be really hard to fit. So an Australian 14 to 16 is probably about an American 12 to 14 if you're over there. So it's that sort of, it's a little bit tricky to find in our market here. And yeah, absolutely. I do think that fashion for, more advanced women is much more limited because a lot of fashion is aimed at the younger market as well because they seem to be more interested in fashion rather than as we get older, and I do think that women on the whole shop less often a little bit when we're older because we already have a whole bunch of stuff. So it can be, and we can have things, there's still good wear left in it and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's partly why there is a little less option versus the young people. They are buying and buying and buying because they don't have a wardrobe full of clothes. In the same way, when we get older, we might have one. But there is definitely stuff out there. And this is why you've got to look beyond what you see as your market and into any store. Like, don't just limit yourself to what you see as an older person's store because there could be some great stuff in something that could be in a younger person's store and you're completely bypassing it because you're not even looking there. Now, I wouldn't go to the really, what they call the junior market, which is the very young stuff, which is kind of more aimed at teenagers, but anything that is aimed at the kind of the 25, 30 plus, I would absolutely look at because you will get all sorts of amazing stuff in those stores as well. And I really think that there's fewer, there's not the same sort of, kind of rules that there used to be as far as shopping and what to wear as we get older. There's no reason why you can't wear a pair of jeans if you want to. There's no reason why you can't wear a leather jacket if you want to, at whatever age you are. It's more about you and your style and what you like and what resonates with you as well. So yes, absolutely, you are normal, and part of it, and this is why I think that more about the more you can define your style and you know what you're after, the easier it is to start to find it, to actually be able to do some searches online and to be actually able to find it, because I'm not quite sure what it is you can't find apart from the feel that you can't find what you want. So it's hard for me to point you in the direction of anything, but it is one of those things that don't limit yourself. I think it's more about size than probably anything else. And do remember that you can alter clothes. So sometimes if everything else is about what you found is good and maybe there's just a bit too much fabric in there, could you put an extra bust dart in, or could you do something that maybe takes out a bit of fabric around the bust if there is too much in that? And also too is even the plus size manufacturers make for different body shapes, and so you might find that some of them work better for you than others as well. And also too, looking around at the regular manufacturers, That's like, you know, a Sportscraft goes up to a size 20, a Veronica Main goes to a size 18. Like, there are manufacturers who easily go up to the 14 to 16. It's not too hard to find. So it's part of it might be doing a bit of online research to find out who in the, you know, what sizes they go to, and kind of like, you know, so what are your options as well. So do let me know what questions you have, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon. Bye for now.